All right, cool.
So everybody on YouTube Live.
Howdy. So yeah, this is our. And where's Dan? Do we even need a mic?
I don't know. I'm surprised there's this many people here. Nah.
So where's we get
It's too quiet to leave the music.
what?
Intros, like wrestlers.
Where's the 80s mix?
I got my thing. In
Wrestling themes.
I got my thing in the booth.
Oh, wow.
Where's well, we got 3 minutes. Please hold. Please hold.
Please hold.
All right, hold on.
Enjoy the elevator music.
I can get you the.
You got
There it is. Yeah.
Is he wearing a?
He's wearing a
He's wearing a
sleeved hoodie.
You never know which way that guy's gonna go.
They're earned, not given.
I think it's.
I see a theme here.
I think it's related.
Marvel Man.
Marvel Man.
Where's your cape?
Right?
You haven't bought it yet.
Maybe I'll make one next year.
I'm gonna make it. I know a guy. I know a guy who makes stuff.
Travis, can you make some tape so I can give it to Travis?
I know a bridge I can jump off of.
Been there, done that, doesn't work. We're good.
Downtown Greenville.
You might land on the dude if you jump up.
Down in Charleston, they've been jumping off.
So you might just have
Right?
I'll pass it off to him when he.
and make sure it's on.
Yeah.
Had
do that.
in the last 3
But
months.
you're thinking we
That's
don't.
probably not a good
We
job.
probably won't.
We don't
I don't think so. No one else has been having it.
Okay, so then we won't need it, except so that'll be for the other
Yeah.
one.
So you guys can hear okay? Test, do a test.
Good.
Let me just
He's good.
You guys can hear? Okay.
All right.
hold on 1 second.
You should do a panel like you do your traits on the floor.
We should do a panel.
I don't know if I could get off the floor after this weekend.
Where's my earpiece to feed me information?
Right?
What are my lines?
Well, I need the answers.
What-
What do I do with my hands?
So funny story. The first TV interview you did, in front of one of his faces, and he looked at me like,
What do I do with my hands?
Right, and I did this, just joking. And he looked at me and went, it was the best thing ever.
It's from Ricky Bobby, right? What do I do with my hands?
What do I do with my hands?
South Carolina gold.
Car drove real good.
So you ready?
Let's start it.
Let's do it.
All right, well, y'all, thank you for coming out. I'm Dan Fowler with Screaming Suit, the web's #1 animated horror host show. I'm very grateful to be here to introduce a good friend and associate from Toy Federation. That would be Ryan and the gang. And you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Andy?
Ryan.
Travis.
Toy Man.
All right. And,
Marvel Man. Marvel Man.
So this is going to be very casual and very easygoing. It's going to be just a simple Q&A because you guys are going to be the stars of what we do here at the panel today. But I'm going to kick it off. Ryan, I think the biggest question that's on everybody's mind every time when they watch you every week on your YouTube channel, what do you put in your hair?
Nothing. They don't. They do not really ask that, do they?
I told you.
You just want to
When you go to the
know.
barber shop, they say, I want that haircut. It looks just like you.
I just know the funniest comment that I did see, and I'll be honest, I don't look at all the comments, because then I don't want to go lose my mind, because then either I'm ripping somebody off or I'm a horrible person, but that's like 2% of it. But so I kind of just focus on what I want to do and appreciate everybody. But I think one of the funniest comments was, he has great anime hair. I didn't really know what that meant because I don't watch anime, but I guess I think that was a compliment. I got a full head of hair.
All right, here you go.
How are you adjusting to, it was once upon a time just in your shop, the locals maybe knew you, but now you're YouTube quote unquote famous.
Right.
How's that adjustment going where people recognize you in all these things?
Well, it's super cool. I mean, it's humbling, overwhelming. I feel like I can't accommodate or meet everybody's I feel like sometimes I might let somebody down because I'm depending on where you find me or what I'm doing it's like 500 things always going on in my head, but I want to give you that moment, and I'm so appreciative of everybody. What you see is actually me. I'm not anybody different. I don't put on a YouTube persona. I don't change how I talk or this is just me. And I think that's kind of a lot of what's resonated.
Yeah.
Instead of everybody being fake or pretending to be something for views or clicks, this is just us and regular dudes selling toys, and I like to do it on the floor, and people find that so annoying.
Get off the floor.
According to your comments.
A guy brought a table in for us.
Yeah.
It's like I wanted to bring a table in so you guys could do my trade. And it was like, all right. And it was nice, but it was
It
weird.
was so uncomfortable.
Get the table out of here. We don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like playing with toys on the floor. And I like to sort. I don't want you sorting it.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes the fun away.
Takes the
But
fun
I
away.
get it if you do it, because then it's easier to
That's fun for
evaluate.
everybody, right?
Yeah.
Next question.
Huh?
No.
Just roll.
Cool. We're done.
Ryan,
We could just talk.
Ryan, can you tell us what the stepping stones are to your success, like how the channel managed to grow so quickly?
I wish I knew. I mean, hiring a good guy who knows what he's doing is a lot to say. I mean, there's a lot of people that would hope, like I'm an older guy, YouTube's a younger person's business. I would think. That's me being generic. But I always felt that there was a need for a TV show style, not just another guy with a phone.
Let me call a guy. I need a price.
Where here I am at Walmart, I'm at Target, I got none here, I'm gonna go sit in my car and talk about it, and then go somewhere else, and hey, that's a thing, and that's fine, that's not me.
Right.
And I was like, if I could give something different, and a lot of people say it, but it's the best way to describe it, it's Pawn Stars with toys. This is the most generic way to equate what we do. And what you see is exactly what happened. There's no script. And Matt captures it wonderfully. And sometimes you might think there's 3 cameras involved, and it's 1 camera, because he keeps moving in different directions to get different angles to make it more entertaining. So, I mean, I couldn't do it if, I hired the right guy, and he knows what he's doing.
Well, all the attention certainly brought you a lot of notice from other toy
That guy.
collectors.
That guy.
And a lot of them have brought huge collections to you. Has anyone brought you like a holy grail item you've been looking for and not able to obtain until shows?
I know the YouTube's helped greatly in me trying to complete my Loose Joe collection, because I got my Gold Head and some of the Steel Brigades. So there's the Hey Yo,
Hey
right?
Yo.
That's part of the show too.
Part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting for my Sears Missile Command.
What about Marvel Man or Andy? You
Yeah.
guys been able to collect anything thanks to the success of the show?
Yeah. Well, you want to go?
No, you go. You go.
So
you go.
obviously, I do Ryan's Loose Joe collection. So it's kind of like whatever trickles down out of that's secondary. I generally have first right of refusal. So I'm down to 23 guys for my whole run from 82 to 94. And the beauty of it is, if he doesn't need it, I don't have to go out and hunt it. Like,
There's not many I need anymore.
no,
Travis doesn't
might
need
be-
much Marvel, because he's got,
he's Marvel
it's
man.
gotta be
What's he
something
need?
new.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy that came from, was it West Virginia?
Yeah,
And there was another guy who brought a truckload. There's one guy that brought 600 legends.
so we had 1,000 and
1,000.
And the other, and it's, way it turned out to be like 6 and 9
Okay.
or something. But anyway, but the other guy, let's say it was 1,000. I was able to get one out of each collection.
Wow.
The only ones that I needed.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely been beneficial to be there. And some people might say, well, like, you're not giving anybody else a chance. And it's like, well, it's better than you think because like,
Yeah.
we have all the basic stuff.
Right.
We've had the basic stuff. It's a lot of the legends that I had before I started working, you know. to
But I
run.
mean, honestly, you were down to like the strange variants, like
Yeah,
the Winter Soldier that you picked up.
Oh yeah, the
You would know the difference. If you
right,
didn't
right. Just
know.
like little variations, like slight repaint or you know, an error that they had, and I really was only collecting that because I thought maybe it'll be beneficial to doing something with later, so that other people can see
Awesome.
what I see.
I'm gonna do a Marvel book at some point.
What's that?
At some point,
Yeah, Marvel Legends book.
I definitely want to do a guide because especially since that's what I handle so much in the shop, and looking up listings and seeing things every day. I'll see people that sell things wrong, incomplete, saying it's complete, head switches, you know, misidentifying, and I've experienced where I bought a figure online, and when I got it, it was a severe bootleg. But you couldn't tell in the picture because it's the same figure, but they cast it where the joints were solid as opposed to movable.
Oh.
And you just couldn't see it in the photo, and I was like, man, I got cheated.
Was that
you know.
was that an abomination or? I forget.
It was record.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So and he was a
It's all
tougher
foreign
one.
to me. It's
Yeah.
not Star Wars.
Not Star Wars.
But yeah, yeah.
But anyway, it's something that I really like, and I really just like talking with people in the shop. I think I love learning about Joe's too. I don't have to have them. So in a way, it's like when it comes into the shop, it's like there I have it, and it's not even my shop, it's his.
Yeah, you could say you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had that.
yeah. I know what that guy looks like. I know what he comes
Yeah.
with.
We're
Can I
learning.
see a question? Okay, this one.
Just any lines that maybe when you were younger, didn't appreciate, and then as you got older, you're like, these are pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's a lot.
That's endless.
Yeah.
Because I was so, I think I've talked about this before, but I was so focused. I mean, again, we can learn about everything now because there's the internet and YouTube and just whatever. Like, all I knew about was Star Wars and G.I. Joe. Nothing else existed in my, I didn't even look at the other stuff, so it didn't register. That's all I wanted. So as I got older, I'm learning about all these amazing toy lines that were there and I could have been, aged out for toys, and then I was in college, and then you just look back, and sometimes the stupider the better, the more exciting.
I mean, like for me, I love the lines that were like it had one run and there's no more. So like I'm a guy that owns everything carded and boxed Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Yeah. That's a cool
Like I like King Arthur and the Knights of Justice,
That's a tough one.
Double Dragon. You know, well,
No, nobody.
that's
Nobody says
But no,
that.
just the one and run lines that were done. I just think it's kind of unique in its own way because it never,
Well,
there wasn't 600 figures. It wasn't,
I love Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah.
right?
That's a good line because I
Swamp
had a
Thing.
couple as a kid.
Yeah.
And they were cool because they glowed up, but like I remember just being like, well, that's cool, and then setting it down and just never picking it up. And now when it comes in, I'm like, that was cool. Why did I not
Right.
pay more attention?
Even Waterworld's cool.
Yeah.
The Trimarian or whatever.
You're right.
That's
Mission
cool.
Impossible.
I like
figures.
that.
Jet skis.
I like this Kenner, and I can see the Kenner look, and they probably reuse stuff, and I
Oh,
haven't
of course.
identified
Yeah,
it.
nobody even cares to take the time to figure out the reuse on that line.
Right.
Right, next question. I think, yeah.
What is the podcast?
All right, good question. So I'll explain this as quickly as possible. So Matt was helping me do that. It requires a lot of work on his part. And I didn't realize how much work because it's 4 times longer to 5 times longer than a typical Saturday episode with 3 cameras. So it's a 3-camera edit, 5 times longer. It's a lot more work than what happens every Saturday morning on the YouTube. So I've decided to buy the mics, buy the headsets, buy the camera, all of which I've done, sitting in my office because the show's coming up and there's 50 million things going on in my head. And I was like, I just can't commit to that. But I want to because I've had new people in the shop, or some people say they like that even better. And that got monetized in 4 days, which, we're just talking about toys. And then hit 7,000 followers and pretty quick, where it took the YouTube channel time to grow. So 100% it will come back. The thought is to do it once a week, where we were filming 3 to 4 episodes at a time, just for time management, where now if we have everything, we're not relying on somebody to come do that. And it's like, you wanna stay an hour late tonight?
Right.
We'll order food, and then it'll be really current, really fresh. And then once we get 2 or 3 of those down pat, then the goal would be to just do it live. So then there's no editing. But we got the switchboard, I don't know if it's a Voodoo or whatever, Justin, I don't know what it's called. And then, so we could switch to the cameras live.
Raise your hand if you're a fan of the podcast.
Look at that, wow.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll get that done next week.
I love that one podcast where you guys came out with your own little created action figures. That was hilarious.
It's Wicked Warriors with a Z.
No, it's like 2 Z's, right? 2 or 3
Wicked
Two
Warriors.
Z's.
Warriors.
That was hilarious. I guess I'm almost 50, and we're empty nesters now, and this has become my hobby over the last couple of years, especially Transformers, third party, vintage, new. I love it. She never really understood the appeal to it, but now she's starting to see it, and she's collecting Star Trek, which she
cool.
loves. What do your wives think of your collections and spending the money on collectibles and things like that?
Let's let Travis answer that one first.
I met Travis as soon.
Yeah, yeah. She's fine with it. She collects.
She doesn't.
Yeah, so it's
It's for my daughter.
this guy.
That's this guy.
I'm going to tell that story.
That's
a good
We
story.
have limited time.
Okay,
It's a
all right.
cosplay fan.
Yeah, no, she's all for it, and it's like seeing how goal oriented it ends up becoming, and then realizing like you could be involved in drugs or alcohol. You could be
Horrible.
committing crimes on a dock somewhere. Bringing
don't?
in- Yeah, bringing in illegal things. And none of that's happening. It's just
Bootleg
adults
toys.
playing with toys. Yeah, bootleg toys.
Very illegal.
But no, yeah.
So,
For me, or Dandy, yeah, you go.
So for me, my wife is fine with it, which is cool. I think the biggest change in the whole thing was when I came on full time. For her, she was kind of worried because I had, solid 9-to-5 job. I was event coordinator here in Greenville for BMW. So it was a big change, but she sees that how much happier I am now, how much less stress I have at home. So, it weighs out. If you're happy doing what you do, no risk, no reward. You got to do what you're happy with in life at some point. So, I'm starting, I don't know how many people have seen them, but I'm doing custom skate decks now. So I got more creative juice. Like there's always, there's more thoughts going on. It's not just like, oh, the grind.
There you go. So my wife was always, she was going to Target and back when I was a more, collector and making sure they didn't let the thing run over the conveyor to get the figure damaged. She would package them and not let anybody touch them. So she was, and when we bought our first house, it got so full. You had to, I always give this example, if we had company over, it was so sure she wasn't happy about that, and then you would have to shift boxes to get to the bathroom because I would block the bath. Like it was a mess. So then it was like if I could turn this somehow and then get into a business and not then you're no longer a hoarder, I guess. It becomes inventory.
Have you seen the back rooms?
So, but yeah, there's, I see customers all the time, friends, people in the shop, and not everybody is supportive. Sometimes it's hostile, which is sad. I've seen people come in the shop and say, oh, this is so cool. They found somebody and they like everything that I like, or they like what I have, and a year later they're like, yeah, I got to get rid of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like, she's.
Forgiveness is always better than permission.
So then I was like, so that was a ruse. cunning attempt. And they got you, now you get this crap out of here. So then I always used to joke that we say marriages one collection at a time. Because we keep, it's gotta go. Or we know people that literally rent a little storage.
Yeah.
They buy something and they drive it to the storage.
Wow.
And then they go home. And that's sad, but it's just, so I always encourage, like, get it out early. Let them know what you like.
Yep.
Prepare them.
Love you, honey.
Actually, I was, we have a question over?
No.
Okay, yeah, yours.
Hi, we're from PA. I know you like to talk about how far people.
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't come down directly. We're going to Florida, but this was like a stop. I watched a bunch of like retro Rick and stuff.
Yeah.
And we have 22-year-old twins. Are you concerned with the generation change? Because like if I talk about G.I. Joe or Star Wars toys, my 22-year-old twins are like, Dad, what are you talking about? But now our one son's really back into Skylanders, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
And the other one's like Beyblades, like
Yeah, no, that seems like it's,
is that
more and
you
more
see that
people
at
are
the
asking.
store?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, G.I. Joe's been around since the 50s?
Yeah.
Or
Transformers
60s,
has never stopped.
Transformers hasn't stopped. So, I mean, they just keep reiterating, Star Wars is, I played it when I was 6, right? And kids are playing with it now at 6, 40 years. So, my concern is more every kid just stares at their phone. So, you hope to and then the fact that all the toy stores went away, then how do kids have that experience of being in awe of toys taller than they could see and reach and play with things? So I hope, if for nothing else, that people remember, the store, and to have the memories that, I had it going to Lionel Play World, let's say,
Full walls.
where you couldn't
Floor to
reach
ceiling,
and
right.
pegs this deep.
Or I want that for Christmas.
Right.
Here's the wish book. Circle
Hurting,
it.
my neck looking up at the Toys R Us track where they put all the
Yeah.
huge stuff in between the
Yeah.
aisles, just, like those.
So yeah, I'm more worried about, what is the future of cons like shows, to where I used to joke that, everybody will,
One
in
at
30
Apple
years,
4.
30 years from now, go into a booth and get an iPhone
Do you have this
4
item? You do?
and play
Click.
the
Alright.
Snake game on it or something. 'Cause that's what they remember
Or
when
Flappy
they were young.
Bird.
'Cause- Right, oh yeah. Flap-
Flappy Bird.
So it's like, but if you have toy stores and kids can pick up things and robots or dinosaurs or this, and not just, and you don't know what you're looking for, but you see it. It's not like, well, at the shelf, there's one aisle and we give 3 pegs to Marvel and 2 pegs to,
Right.
and
But-
then the employees buy it and sell it on eBay, and it never sees the light of day, and everything's secondary market, and just, I don't know.
But it's cool to see, like, parents bring kids in the shop that were once little, and now they're as tall as us, and they're still shopping in there. Like,
You see the wow factor, we see it all the time, so it's less over, like, I take for granted that maybe I don't have enough stuff, or it's like, oh, is there not enough cool stuff, if somebody's coming such a long way, I don't want them to be disappointed. Because if I drove 8 hours and I was unhappy when I walked in, it was like, everybody talked about this, and I come in and I was like, this is what a pile of junk, like the line out of Star Wars, like, and then people like, they're in the lobby, which is the junk, and they're like, wow, and I was like, so I guess, so we did good. But the kids are, we gifted, I don't know if Jason's in this room or he was here, we gave a headquarters to a kid.
Yeah.
He's 5 or 6, and
took it home. Was that
took it home and had wrestling figures and everything
with it
with
out
it.
back.
and
Yeah.
So it's like, so he's got that memory, and he'll remember playing with G.I. Joes. I mean, Travis was younger than me goes, but he remembered.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing one at a flea market, and it stuck with me till I found one when I was 12.
Yeah.
And I still think that kind of thing happens with kids these days. They played with an older brother's toy, or they saw a picture in an old magazine, an old Sears catalog wish list book, and it just,
Those need to come back.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, things have changed, definitely, but then we still see people coming in of any age,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's with a parent, sometimes it's without, and sometimes it's a whole other world, and people discover it and they just you know, at a young
Well,
age, fall in love with it.
it's like if the adults have that passion, the kids, it's gonna funnel to the kids.
Skips generations.
Well, sometimes. No, but
It's in the genes,
physical media's coming back, I think.
right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you just own it in a cloud, and then it's the movie you saw keeps getting changed and altered, and
Edited,
or something happens in the world that topic shouldn't be said or changed, and, you know, like E.T., the guys didn't have guns, and they all had walkie-talkies in their hands, and I was like, this is stupid. It's like, because it just, and so, I mean, isn't vinyl out? Nobody buys CDs. You buy vinyl now. Like, so who would have thought that?
Right.
You know, people are buying VHS
I buy
again,
both.
and they're making VHS.
People buy Laserdisc.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, because then you
Right.
know you'll always have it.
Yeah.
Next question. All right, back.
I know you guys have already created and consulted with movie studios, like the Beanie Baby movie.
Right.
You guys have done that. Have you gotten approached since then with any other movie studios?
No, I mean, that was out of the blue, and I was happy to do it, but I don't know how often that phone call will ring, you know, I don't know how often a movie revolves around toys to more than, we just need some toys for the kid's background, and you just go buy that.
And also, if you ever got approached for like a reality show or something like that, would you guys be interested?
So, long story short, so I don't know if I've ever publicly said this. So, when we first started YouTube, I asked Matt to put together a pilot episode. YouTube didn't start, but we started filming. And I said, put me a pilot that we could submit. And I submitted it. They ordered a whole season where I had 100% creative control, because I didn't want anybody telling me how to do, because I've heard how there's like an History Channel show, like the first season it was real, and then the second season, like the tow truck company, then the actors, they were actors, they rented the cars that got towed, and it just went 100% scripted, so I'm gonna, like, I make a living off the toy store. Like, I just want to do YouTube the way I want to do it. I just want to do a TV show if that were to be the way I want to do it. And you're not going to tell me how to do it, or I just won't do it, because I don't need you to do it. Like, you know, it's not going to change my day. So I had Matt edit and do the whole season, and I've sat on that for well over a year and haven't yet to sign the contract. And I don't know why. It's like, my gosh, you know, because I can't handle the load I have now. We're so busy. And what's that gonna do? What strain? But then it's like, what am I, an idiot? I have a TV show contract
Load the cart.
I know, for over a year sitting on my desk that I have yet to sign, that they call at least once a week.
I mean, like Motor Trend and all those television shows are shut down. Most of these guys are going to YouTube. Most of these reality shows really aren't doing good on TV. YouTube's where it is, honestly.
But I mean,
So
the
you're in
amount of
best market, you could be.
But you know, see, the thing when you submit a show, because I've learned a little bit about this. I mean, this is one market. Now YouTube is, but there's a million platforms. Not everybody's on YouTube, even though it's not everybody's on Facebook. We get new people. There was people that came to the shop for the first time Saturday and saw the sign on the door that said we're closed because we're set up at a show.
Yeah.
They didn't even know about the show, but yet they were going to the store. Like, we've only bombarded it every which way, but we still get people daily who don't know. So we've had people who didn't know we had YouTube. They just learned about the podcast. Oh, you have YouTube? I just heard you on Spotify.
Really?
How long have you guys been here?
Oh yeah.
Do
You must have just helped.
do you sell parts?
Yeah, we do not sell parts.
We do not sell parts.
Do you ship?
We do not ship.
There it is.
So that we were gonna do April Fool's, free shipping on Sundays.
Free
We're
shipping
not open
on-
on
free
Sunday.
shipping and all
We don't
parts.
ship. We don't ship and we don't sell parts. It's like a triple whammy.
That would have backfired. You said.
This is in the ad.
So you have a question back here? Okay.
Being that like toys are so connected with like childhood and nostalgia, like you get so many collections and people coming in, bringing stuff to you and looking for stuff. Like, is it often people who are involved are just like the flipping money aspect of it, or do people bring you like their childhood collections that they're very attached to? Like, what's your experience with like that?
You know, it's all of it.
All,
It's all, yeah,
all,
yeah.
yep. Have people that are other sellers
Yeah.
bring us stuff, they may not be able to find a market or customers for it, just based on
Or
what
it's,
shows.
or it's
the
clearing
way
out
they
mom's
sell.
attic. Or,
But yeah, then there's people, clearing out mom's
or it's
attics.
like, you know, unfortunately, I've got a bill to pay. I gotta move something.
Or somebody died.
Or somebody died.
Yeah.
I bought a collection here in the show from somebody who's got a collection from somebody who passed. It was a friend of his.
Yeah.
It's, it's, yeah, there's no, there's a ton of people who clear out houses and they find stuff in
Yeah.
attics, or there's tons of people who just buy storage lockers.
Storage lockers, yeah.
And then they got a guy to go to when it's gold and tools and records, and they come to us for toys, because they can't be in every, they just want, to get one and done.
Isn't there was it across the street or somewhere close to us, like a secondhand store?
Thrift
They-
store?
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't they do stuff for the church or something like that? And he's like, I just need somewhere to bring toys.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, that's true.
And they don't know what it is. It's like, well, is this something you take? And sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a question in the front?
Hmm?
This is a quick one. The Toy Federation logo being the Filmation font. How did that come about, knowing that you're a G.I. Joe guy?
I loved, yeah, it's true. But see, I loved He-Man. I didn't play with the toys. I thought the cartoon was amazing, but,
You specifically said you thought He-Man was baby's toys.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought,
Yeah.
I think they
Well,
look like giant Imagine X figures.
Right. Yeah. But then they grow on you.
If you
after
have G.I.
30,
Joe with
40 years.
swivel arm,
Oh, yeah.
see, you start with Star Wars, who created the 3 3/4 line, right? It's like a ballpark sausage, or what's the guy says, the Hasbro guy, he lines his hands up and they measure the tape measure.
Make it as big as my finger.
Right, so, and then that was the scale, and then what's Hasbro coined the term action figure, I think?
Yep.
So now you had this 3 3/4 scale, and so when you go from 5-point articulation to all kinds of articulation, and then swivel arm, so you progressed.
Up the game.
And then you go to He-Man, I can't bend at the knees or the arms.
Yeah.
And then you babysit a 6-year-old kid next door, and that's what he's playing with. I'm playing with G.I. Joe. That's kid stuff. That's how my brain worked, because you can't do anything. Where I'm posing, kneeling, putting in jeeps and planes, and so it was just. Somebody
Then,
said.
Well, but then, then you, it grew on you, but then like when Roger Sweet started talking about it, you know.
Put that
Yeah.
on.
You know.
No, but I love the cartoon. I have so many original animation cells from He-Man. Because I was always collecting cells. Like, I was always collecting paperwork when nobody cared. Like, I was buying animation cells, like, in the 90s. As many as I could get. I just love it.
What's going on here?
It's Ryan's friend.
Tony's.
Ryan's friend.
Ryan's
It's
friend.
the Toy Federation panel. You can't have Bonavita without a side of rigatoni, baby.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You got a chair?
Spam the show.
Jump it on in there.
So a lot
Come
of
on.
people love my buddy Tony. Tony does so many
Got
shows.
you a chair. Nope.
So I've known Tony forever, because I moved to South Carolina from Miami, and so then and we've talked about this. So when I do shows, because I used to do 20 to 30 shows a year, and it's a lot of work. And I opened the store to have to be home more, having young kids and growing up, and not, be around for your kids and not, And so then it got to the point to where I don't need to do shows anymore. I'm doing fine with the shop, growing my shop. And then, right? And then, so then it
Yeah, I'm
became-
here.
Then it became an excuse to hang out with my friend.
Right.
Because we don't get to see each other that much. So, and then, you look forward to those exchanges, or those moments where you can have dinner and just chill in the room. And it's almost guaranteed that when we're in the hotel Wedding Crashers is on, so we watch it like it's like almost always on every show we're at. It's like
It's so odd.
Yeah, it's either that or I'll find you.
Or Step Brothers.
Step Brothers is on, or Talladega Nights, or it's just, but it's like, you're working all the time. And so then that's your downtime, but you're still working, but that's my vacation. And then, but it's funny now that because he's been on maybe 7 episodes, give or take, I don't know, you might know better.
Why?
You keep track of the minute count. And then he's at New York, and he's at San Diego, and he's at these different places, and he's told me people have come up and go, "Where's Ryan?" Like, isn't he always with you? Like, so he's right. Not that if they didn't know who Tony was, he's gained new customers and new people who've learned about him because he's on, and it's amazing the reach. Like, I've had vendors call me who sell product to different countries. And they'll call me and they said, Ryan, I just talked to a vendor in the UK, and he doesn't know I know you. He doesn't know I sell to your shop. You just came up in conversation, and he's telling me about you. And he's like, so it's just weird how many people are, watched, like, how many people it touches. I mean, at one point we were at 1 million views a month. It's not that now. It goes up and down if you get a hit video or whatever. And it's like, it's 1 million, and then there's some newscasts that nobody watches 50. Like, it's like almost the old media is dying. And
build another Dragonfly.
Right? Yeah. That did a lot. There's people who said, I don't even collect G.I. Joe and I want a Dragonfly.
Shot.
That was so funny though, because you pulled out this pristine one, and I remembered it because I went through the same thing. I had it almost ready. I was like, it's so good, clean, checked everything. Had a little thing on the end.
A little cog or whatever.
This is good, and I'm like,
yeah.
So now we can't do anything with it. It's still at the shop. It'll
Still in the
stay there
bin.
forever.
I think the only Dragonfly we have complete's in the booth right now.
Yeah, we had one for the booth.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, no, Tony and I, long time, and then we look forward to these events. And I keep telling Tony he needs to do something.
Oh, do a show down there?
Yeah, and then I can hang out on your show sometime. RicoCon.
RicoCon.
Oh yeah, so we keep joking about that, but we had the Rock and Roll Express here one year, and they shot a quick promo video for us, and maybe we'll show it some. I mean, they called the show RicoCon.
Yeah.
Been down many roads.
They all lead back to one place.
I mean, it takes a lot to really put on an event, and it's not just the event, it's the success that Ryan's brought to the show. And that's one of, we've talked about it. I've talked about it with my wife to try to do a show down in Miami.
Yeah,
it's just
should.
the time. Yeah. I know I can always count on you to pick your brain. That's for sure. I'll fly you down there.
I'll set up.
Come down and set up. You're gonna come help me put it
See,
together. What are you talking about?
It's like if you see people don't. It's fun to see it from the one side, but then you don't realize all the work that's involved. And so when you just go to a show, it's the other guy's problem. You just, when's load in, I'm out, let's check in, and then you can leave whatever he's dealing with whether it's flights and flight changes and agents, and this one needs that, and this one can't eat that, and you gotta do this, and then making sure everybody's satisfied and happy, and checking in on your vendors where most promoters could give a crap. You don't even see them. Some help, right, and then it's having knowledgeable people and without Brian Cosson, helping with this show or helping run the whatnots, because I don't know how to do that. It doesn't mean I can't learn it, but he already knows, and he's knowledgeable, and he's my friend. So then we order food, and we make everything we do like an event. And then Craig's been super helpful. Justin's, I couldn't do the show without Justin. I couldn't do social media without Justin. It's hard to find right people, and then when you do, you gotta find a way to make it work. Even if
While we're on that subject and starting to have to wrap up here for the panel, is there, since we're acknowledging other people, do you want to acknowledge these guys and what they bring to Budget Toy Con, why they're here?
Oh, well, I mean, I thought I kind of started to do that. But I mean, I've known I've known the least, but he's been so helpful in the last few years.
I help.
No, it's true. So
He
he,
hasn't been fired today.
like if you
This
say,
is true.
Still young.
if you need Craig to run through a wall, he'll do it for you. Like just tackle the, like he'll just do what you say to do. Like
We have all this food,
climb on the
gotta get
roof
rid of it.
now.
Yeah.
He'll get on a ladder and just go on the roof. Like it's, and then Devin is like I always joke like he's my Norm from Cheers. Like he's just always at the shop and he'll do anything you need. Help anybody. He greets people. If you need to watch a door, you need to do security. You need him to. When Tony Todd was there, he needed him to go grab something, and he went and got it for him.
He's a G.I. Joe expert too, right?
And he knows a crap ton about Joe's, especially the history. The comic. And that's just not Joe's. He could walk you through. He could walk you through Bad Dudes beginning to end on one life.
Yeah.
Like
Double Dragon.
he but he could describe to you each level without looking at it. Like he could walk you through. It's he's got a photographic memory.
Things to learn for so many years. When I got started with that, I started when I was back in my junior high school. And worked all the way up to now, which is on 55, but I still got a lot of memories and stuff. And I know Ryan for like 9 years, and Tony and Travis and all these guys, they're very super nice to me, because I'm part of their family and I'm part of the team, so.
Yeah, we're all family.
It's really humble for me to hang out, but a lot of guys say, I don't know this, I don't know that, and I said, oh, I remember that, because I had that, and I'll tell you about everything about it, maybe like, I'm this guy now.
Well, I'm stopping.
I'm gonna make
You want it
quick,
or
I'm
no?
gonna cut it short. If you give me a book,
Yeah, it's gonna
and I'll
end in a
read
minute.
it, you close it, I'll tell you what it is just a second.
He's like a meteor man, right?
Meteor Man?
That meteor man.
Yeah,
Had that power to hold the book and tell you whatever's in the book.
yeah.
But I mean, without Justin and Costin, this show wouldn't be here. Because one guy can't. It's a team, and then Justin helps me on the website. Everybody helps in multiple ways. Because it's like when we do a whatnot, there's 7 people involved. When we do a show, there's 20, 30 people involved. But there was a time where it was just me, and then you close the store because you got your kids from school. And then you come back and reopen it. Like you just do what you can do until you can afford to do more, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Do what? Oh jeez, yeah, I blew an engine rod, but the thing was going pop, pop, pop. Yeah, I don't even know if you knew when I was driving back from Tampa.
Yeah,
So we got time.
You told me.
One last
Yeah,
question,
yeah.
and then that'll be yours.
And how long was it just you?
A long time. So when I started doing the show circuit, so what ended up happening is when we moved to South Carolina, the economy had already dove. I mean, and there was online, so the original Toy Federation was online.
Yeah.
And Big Bad Toy Store won that battle. And then Amazon just took hold. And then ToysRUs.com, but they lost that battle. I mean, and it was more focused on military collectibles. I mean, that was the niche. Because I love World War II movies and history buff, especially on World War II.
Toy Fed was military,
Yeah, so if you look at an old Toy Federation catalog, which we actually produced, a mail away catalog, so that was kind of cool to say that you have.
Plastic Army Man in the old logo, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old logo had a plastic Army Man, and it was die-cast tanks, planes. It was 21st Century Toys, Ultimate Soldier, Forces of Valor, and that was big for a while. And then so all of these things were on it. It could be Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Transformers, and I think it was 2000X figures were out at the time. The Motu stuff, and it was the military stuff's what was selling.
Oh, wow.
So we just catered to that, and then this stuff just kind of trickled away. And then that just grew and grew and grew, and then going to Toy Fair in New York and getting on and meeting manufacturers and getting New York pizza and then taking the red eye back or whatever, and because my buddy Gary, since I'm 4 years old.
Renting a limo for the first time.
So my buddy Gary sitting in the front row. When we started Toy Federation, the online, it was him and me. And
Started at International House of Pancakes.
so yeah, having breakfast.
Ryan has a napkin somewhere with the first logo we drew.
Yeah, yeah. And I went to elementary with him up until 10th grade.
That's kind of how it happened with all of us, though. Everybody just kind of gravitates towards you. I mean, the first time we met, I didn't see you for 6 months.
Yeah, and then I needed a website built.
Andy
And I remember you said you could do websites. So it was like, yeah,
Run show, just walk around, just looking at the movies, I used to have.
yeah.
I saw your first advertisements that was in Lee's magazine
Before you knew, right.
before I knew him, when I was in like 8th grade. And I still have, yeah, so like he was telling me one day and I was like, man, I pulled out the magazine, I'm like, oh my
That
God.
means you're old.
Yeah.
So I'm old. Yeah, so Tomar, Lee's, Toy Shop Magazine, like, we were in all those magazines.
Wow.
I mean, Yojo and all these different actionfigures.com or figures, whatever, all these sites where we had little banner ads popping up and we had the website was doing well for a minute. I mean, we had our own servers and we had Dell accounts and we had computers but it's just, I think we were too in one direction, and when that direction fell, but it was when the housing bubble burst, the economy tanked, people didn't have expendable income for the online stuff. Like it just and especially in the field we were focused on, it died. And so it was like, so then I was like, and it was right around the time I quit my day job to do this full time, and then I was like, now we're screwed. And if we can't move this inventory into my house, we can't afford warehouse rent, warehouse electric, warehouse alarm. So now there's a problem. I got to go to where there's a basement. Yeah.
Well, we have reached the end of.
Well, one quick one.
Very quick.
Okay, my thing is kind of following on what this guy said. I mean, as you see toy lines and toys are falling off popularity in certain toys, I mean, where do you see this in 10, 15 years? As far as the way things cycles
If
go?
the toy store can come back,
Right,
because we're creating those memories for kids.
right.
It's just, and it seems like we're filling that gap, because there's a lot more stores like me all over the country now. We try to film some of them that we trade with, like, Blake's got a great store, like, there's just different, Tony's, like, they're coming back. It used to just be, your Child World and your Play World and your Toys R Us, and now we're filling, small guys are filling those gaps because the big guys have all failed.
Yeah, there's no toy stores. No
So maybe somehow, just like, vinyl is back.
Yeah.
And you can buy record players at Walmart. It doesn't mean it has to die, but if you're not trying to, like I want kids to have that memory. Like when I'm gone, I want that kid to remember going to my store.
Yeah.
And toys as high as he could see,
All right, so that brings us to the panel. Ryan, any final words for everybody? Like anything to expect from the YouTube channel or anything exciting coming to the store? Usually have a Black Friday sale next week, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's our typical, the store's 20% off, but I think our Marvel and DCs are either buy two, get one free.
Buy two, get one.
Pops are buy one, get one free, because we want them gone. Do what?
Retro Horror Con?
Oh, yeah, so we're starting a new show. So, yeah, that's coming up. I mean, I didn't want to do everybody said do another toy show, And I didn't want to dilute what this is. This is like the Super Bowl to me. But there's clearly a need to do another show. I mean, there's shows every weekend, and we hear people talking about them. Going to Galaxy Con or Heroes Con or this con or Dragon Con, and they're all killing it. I don't need to be that big. But I love horror. Like when I was a kid, I used to do prosthetic face appliances and mold kids in the neighborhood, and I wanted to be a special effects guy. So, and I've probably had 30 horror guests in the store, whether it's 4 different Jasons, 3 different Myers. Tony Todd was there, Daniel Harris, Linda Blair, Anthony David Naughton, you know, like American Werewolf of London is one of my favorite movies, you know, so, you know, to have him in the shot. So I feel like I can do what I'm doing to this with horror, because when I go to a horror show, and not to knock on them, I'm just stating reality, the bulk of their vendors aren't that good.
Yeah.
Because most promoters just sell space, and they don't care who buys the space. It could be a contact lens guy, it could be a chiropractor, it could be,
Vinyl siding.
it doesn't matter.
RVs.
They make their money by selling the tables, and then, or they could sell the 10 Funko vendors. Well, now all those vendors are gonna cannibalize each other. So I have to approve you, which may sound cocky, but I'm trying to deliver
Quality.
a product.
Right.
So I'm gonna do that with horror and keep it lean, and I want every guest to be affordable, so it doesn't break the bank. And I don't believe in photo ops outside of the room, that's why you don't see that here. You know, like a side room for professional photo ops, well then that just takes you guys out of the room. That's stupid. And vendors, you know.
Alright. So, and are you selling hoodless?
Not yet,
They're sure sleeveless hoodies?
They're earned by merit.
not yet.
See, that ought to be it next year. We ought to have that option.
Alright, so, big round of applause. Watch the YouTube channel. This is the story of Greer, South Carolina. Be back here for Retro HorrorCon in September of next year. Don't forget to enter the Retro HorrorCon raffle. You can win a Candyman poster signed by.
Yeah, so
you win a raffle.
we're starting from zero now.
Yeah.
So we have nobody following us on Facebook or Instagram for the new show. So go to Retro HorrorCon and give us a subscribe,
Like,
so that we could,
Support.
when we do speak, at least somebody's seeing. it.
someone's listening.
Yeah.
You'll be here, Tom?
And then-
What?
You come from HorrorCon?
Yeah, I'll be here. Of course.
I'm sure you guys.
No
Ryan's
Bonnie
there, he's
Wheel
there.
on the side on the guitar.
Before everybody leaves, nobody's ever taken a group photo together. Have Dan take a photo with everybody.
Okay.
Devin, heading out, great show, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
I'll see you next year. I'm gonna we're getting a room next year.
Oh, yeah.
Forget it.
But
I missed the block, yeah.
Book early.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
it
I'll
sells
be there
out.
first day.
We sold out in March.
Yeah, no, I'll first day I know about it. When is that,
But if I'm ever
down
in Miami, Hialeah area,
You're scheduled
Yeah.
to open up another room. I know that the con room was the expansion room, I guess, but is that, I'm just curious.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
no problem.
next few months.
Well, have a good one, guys. Take care.
Can we get everybody in?
Alright, squeeze it a little more to the left. Alright. Alright, on the count of three, say Retro Toy Con.
Rico.
Greenville, South Kakalaki.
It's been a great weekend. Appreciate meeting all you guys. Thank you.
See you guys.
Oh, thanks again. Oh yeah, no worries. Thanks for meeting you both.
I gotta run.